So what is the true white male patriarchy? What are their true aims, their true goals? No. If you think it is just to keep the little people down, then it's a little short-sighted. If you support the lockdowns, you're supporting the white male patriarchy. If you support the death of the family, you're supporting the white male patriarchy. If you support all the things that are destabilizing society today, then you're supporting white male patriarchy. Why? Because they already own everything. They already own all the governments, the levers of power, the courts. They own so many people's minds and hearts. And what they need now is for us to eat each other. And then they win. Then they can scoop up all that remains, cause a big war, cause a big disease-ridden world, some big excuse to come in with the armies and have one big clash. Go look on the World Economic Forum. Go look at the big reset. Everything that's happening now is all part of a plan that's been coming out year after year, lockstep. That's another thing to look up. It's been happening. It's been happening over and over again. And it hasn't changed. The plan hasn't changed. And people have been talking about it for decades. Hundreds of years they've been talking about it. Both for and against. And the people laugh. How could you believe such nonsense? How could you believe that they're the only power brokers in the world, the biggest problem in the world is white people, is white male patriarchy? How could you believe that? That would mean that a very small segment of society controls everything. Well, they do, to a large extent, everything that they want to control. Everything that they don't really control directly, they control indirectly, through the control of people's minds and hearts. But when your neighbor screams at you and yells at you and wants you to comply, to do whatever they hear on the news, indirect control. And that's how most of it works. You see, you look at the Georgia Guidestones, you'll see what the white male patriarchy wants. They want about 500 million people left on Earth, which means billions of us must die, which means there has to be an excuse for the billions to die. War, pestilence, engineered pandemics, whatever it is. However it happens, it'll be justified. They will make it look like it's justified. Is it justified? No. Was World War I justified? Archduke Ferdinand? One guy gets killed by a Siberian college dropout. One of the largest wars that ever happened. Did that need to happen? No. Were all the countries and their agreements interlocked so that it was inevitable? Yes. It just took one spark for millions to die, billions of dollars to be gained by very few people, to rewrite the map of history, of the landscape. World War II. What happened there? Well, people fed into their hate because the economy had gotten to such a low point because of the Treaty of Versailles, the aftermath of World War I, where the Germans were basically told, you're the enemy of the world, you can't have anything, you will have to pay these reparations. Even though they pretty much won World War I, but they gave up. They were sold out by the Jews, that they were told. So they spent years and years and years in wallowing conditions, wheelbarrows full of money to buy a loaf of bread. And, they're very proud people, just like the American people are very proud, and just like the American people are being squeezed out. All the countries of the world are being turned into the Weimar Republic during the collapse. And when all these people get everything taken away from them, they're going to get angry. They're going to get mad. They're going to get vengeful. And they're going to need an enemy. And once that happens, once people lose their cool, and they're unable to talk to each other anymore, once all peaceful resolutions have been wiped off the table, there is only one: war. We don't want war. We don't need war. We need people to start really thinking for themselves, turning off all the three-letter agencies, all the CNNs, all the ABCs, FOXs, all of it, all the CIA mind control traps. That's all the media is today. It's a counterintelligence. It's designed to make you believe that which is not true and to not believe that which is true. Leader of the CIA back in the 60s said, "We will know that our mind control has worked when everything that the people believe is false." Imagine saying that. Imagine being the guy that runs an intelligence agency, and he says, more than 50, 60 years ago now, we'll know that our job is done when everything that people believe isn't real. So how many people right now believe things that aren't real at all? They believe what they're told on the media, even though it's verifiably false, even though it's not at all attached to reality. They believe it. It's 1984. It's doublespeak. It's newspeak. They tell you one thing, and then it's the exact other thing the next day. They'll tell you COVID is a perfect example. In the beginning, no, you don't need to wear a mask at all. That's a bad idea. It's not necessary. Okay, and then masks are absolutely necessary. And then they don't actually protect you. They only protect others. Yeah, you can spread it even if you have no symptoms. That's not possible. You can't spread it. No, we don't need 2 weeks to stop the spread. 9 months later, maybe a couple years to stop the spread. Lockdowns are terrible. Don't do it. It'll be more terrible than anything the disease could get. Let's do the lockdowns. We need to do the lockdowns. It's like, it's doublespeak. They want you to hold two opposing ideas at the same time. They want you to lose your mind. They want you basically to be in a state of panic all the time, where you're not. The only thing that you're sure of is that you should be scared. That is the only constant. Because in one breath they say you're safe, the other breath they say you're not. One they say there's hope, other there's no hope. This is the tactic. This is Stockholm Syndrome. You're somebody's prisoner, and you love them because they're giving you your freedom, or they're threatening you. It's an abusive relationship that you don't want to get out of because you feel like you can't get into another one that no other one will work. So, bottom line, you want to support the white male patriarchy? Believe in the lockdowns. Believe the virus is as deadly as it is. Because this, and focus on the fear. Become a vessel for fear. Then you're playing into it. If there's fearless people out there that will live their lives, no matter what, they will choose freedom over all other things. That is the most damaging thing to the elite people on this planet. Call them the white male patriarchy. Because they need people to be subservient, pliant, afraid. They need them to fight each other so that this tiny ass group of people can rule everyone else. They can whip them up into a frenzy. They can get them to do what they want. And then they manipulate all the lever. They have all the resources. They have all the militaries. They have all of it in lockstep, ready to go. Once the mind-controlled subjects, the people, do what they want them to do, they have the solution, the reaction. It's all there, ready to go. Okay. There's huge riots. They don't like what's going on in the world. Okay, now we send in military. Okay, now we have all these people shooting the military. Okay, now martial law. Okay, now everybody's forced lockdown. Nobody gets to walk the streets unless they have very specific papers. Nobody can walk the streets unless they have Their phones are sending out a signal saying they're allowed to be out. There's drones out. If you don't have that phone with that signal, dart in the neck, you wake up in a concentration camp, facing, Dr. Death, the angel of death. Oh, so you thought you could be free, huh? Oh, well, we have a serum for that now. Yeah, we have a serum for that now. And it's time for you to be the subject of the serum. So my advice to everybody is, quite naturally, be natural. Feed into your nature. Feed into fresh air, sunlight, good water, touching the earth, touching that which is out there. Not be so obsessed with what's on the screen. Disconnect from it. It's not your friend. It's not your friend. It's never been your friend. It is only a friend to those who send the signal that is going from the screen to your mind, going inside you and giving you the ideas that they want you to have. Because you don't have ideas, ideas have you. Because these ideas have been scientifically engineered to go inside you and then to manipulate your sense of self, your feelings, your emotions, your very thought patterns, and then you act the way that the program wants you to act. It's exactly like the Matrix with Agent Smith when he's taken over by the virus. Bzzz, straight into you, and then you become that person. These people don't want to be disconnected, Neo. They're a member of the illusion. They're a member of the game. They want to protect it because it is their existence. It is their sense of self, their sense of being. Their sense of reality is based on this game. It's not real. It's not real. And as long as people continue to believe in the system, believe in the governments being their friends, being anything other than a system which was meant to serve humans, but over many lifetimes has been twisted and altered so that it is now a corporation. The United States of America, went bankrupt many times. And each time it went bankrupt, it gave more of its powers and more of its rights away to people who didn't have the people's best interest at heart. At all. At all. And once this happened, it became the United States Corporation. And once this happened, they fooled everybody to sign up as employees of this corporation. And once they fooled people into that, then each one of those employees also became a corporation, a non-living entity, a person. And once this happened, well, they don't really have rights at all. You see, if you pulled out of all these agreements on paper everywhere within the government, and you were a living human being, and then a police officer shot you, and you could prove it in court and all that stuff, then that police officer would go to jail for sure. It would be one of the rare cases because now, or his whole, something would happen to him that his immunity wouldn't protect him from that. Qualified immunity, which is what police officers have. They can kill people and it doesn't matter because they have qualified immunity. Oh, because they were being attacked, so, whatever they did, they're excused from it. So that's a lot to say. And there's a lot to read into what I just said, okay? But bare minimum, know that whatever you see on the television is the white male patriarchy. ABC, CNN, Fox, all of them. Anything that you see on TV, barring maybe 0.5% of something on, is controlled by the people who want nothing more than you to be their slave. And for you to stop thinking, to accept their logic, their reasoning, to hate yourself, hate the family, hate the system, because the system is now no longer viable for them, and to bring it down for them. And then they get the excuse they need. Problem, reaction, solution. Chaos sorcery.